In Milwaukee tonight, a tennis league dedicated to being inclusive and providing a safe space for everybody to practice their backhand.
You may have seen her face before. She's on a mural next to some of Milwaukee's biggest activists and organizers. Tonight, I introduce you to the real-life profile of the woman who's trying to make a difference in Milwaukee's LGBTQ+ community.
And we are taking you to the state's oldest gay bar located right here in Milwaukee. How a Wisconsin drag queen turned superstar helped keep it open during the pandemic. Thank you for joining us. It's a Pride Month special on Milwaukee Tonight, a month when the LGBTQ communities are celebrating the freedom just to be themselves. Tonight, we're going to highlight the voices and the experience of our LGBTQ neighbors to keep the conversation going well beyond the month of June. June chosen as Pride Month nationwide to commemorate the Stonewall riots in New York. That happened this week in 1969. Police raided the Stonewall Bar, and the battle for the rights of all in the LGBTQ community began.
You have to remember that Pride is a new phenomenon. It is not something that's always been here. People could not walk down the street holding hands. People could not get married. People could not tell their landlord that they were gay.
The Milwaukee LGBTQ History Project helps tell all of these stories. They have an online history timeline that dates back to 1778. It includes Milwaukee's first known drag show. That was in 1884. Milwaukeeans attended the first National March on Washington for gay and lesbian rights in 1979. The city's first Pride event held in Mitchell Park in 1988. And Pride Fest set a record-breaking attendance for the 8th year in a row. In 2019, nearly 46,000 people visited. Partners at On Milwaukee have compiled a list of LGBTQ-owned restaurants and bars. You can support them all year long. Wood-fired pizza at Flower Girl and Flame, to Spanish and Portuguese fare at Amalinda, vegan food at Maya Ophelia's food truck. You can find a spot near you. Just visit the full guide at onmilwaukee.com. Tonight, Hamburger Mary's is hosting its weekly bingo game show. It benefits a local charity. The LGBTQ-owned restaurant helps fund groups ranging from dog shelters to HIV/AIDS organizations. The fun there starts at 7:30. A community activist, a fashion icon, Elle does it all. She's a transgender Milwaukee woman whose larger-than-life persona is dwarfed by, well, some incredible activism. Here's our James Groh.
When Elle walks into a room,
you look so beautiful.
It's hard to miss her. It's not just because of her fashion.
It's a slang.
Or her infectious laugh. While all those contribute to her presence, what really makes her special is something you can't see right away.
A board member here at Diverse and Resilient, and I'm the Inclusion and Health Program Specialist for Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin. And I'm also a SHIBA member and co-organizer for the Black Growth Initiative.
She's organized marches, helped create transgender-specific support groups, and so much more.
I want you to know that Black trans women are women. I want you to know that we are proud, that we are strong, that we are beautiful.
According to the National LGBTQ Task Force, Black trans women face some of the highest rates of violence and discrimination. The Human Rights Campaign said 44 trans or non-gender conforming people were killed in 2020, the majority of which were Black or Latinx.
I definitely experienced a lot of sexual harassment. Even in Pride Month last weekend, one of our girls was attacked right here at the gas station on Holden North. The violence that we face is unacceptable.
Her work doesn't go unnoticed, though. Last year, she was incorporated into this mural in Milwaukee that features some of the most prominent activists and organizers in the city.
Feel pride in a connection to my image being up there with the other people that are featured.
And while putting herself out there in such a public fashion can be dangerous,
essentially really the only tool we have to fight back.
Which is one of the reasons she loves fashion. This is a form of expression for her.
I work hard for this body, I work hard for them coins, work hard for the clothes, work hard for the look, you know what I'm saying?
No one is going to silence Elle. In fact, she's just getting started. In Milwaukee, James Groh, TMJ4 News.
Milwaukee's Pride Fest canceled this year because of the pandemic. Hopefully we'll do something in the fall. That's something we learned right there in Tony Atkins' report. But Pride is continuing to serve the community all year long. The LGBTQ Festival is at a virtual health and wellness space. That event alone serves 45,000 people a year during the festival, connecting folks with local health care, safe spaces, and housing. Throughout history and even today, a lot of LGBTQ athletes face discrimination. Here in Milwaukee, there's a rich tradition of gay sports clubs and leagues giving a safe space for everyone to do what they love. Here's Delaney Bry with Milwaukee Metro Tennis Club.
Back in 2000, Maurice Perry, also known as Mo, heard about the Milwaukee Metro Tennis Club.
I discovered it through friends from bowling, and they told me about the league, and I was like, oh, that'd be something I'd be willing to do.
Not just because the sport of tennis was something Mo already enjoyed, but for the reason it was originally created back in the 1980s.
Back in that time, things were a little bit different, so you just kind of wanted a safe space where you could just be yourself and didn't have to worry about if somebody's going to find out that you're gay or not.
A member of the LGBTQ plus community, Mo has watched tennis bring the city of Milwaukee together.
It's great because it's all inclusive. We have men, we have women, we have gay, we have straight. It's just a wonderful feeling that people just doesn't matter anymore. So they wanted to play tennis.
Creating friendships on and off the court. There's no doubt Milwaukee Metro Tennis Club is one of the reasons acceptance and kindness has grown.
Even if you go to a straight or a gay bar, there's no kind of animosity towards the community. So it's come a long way, but still a ways to go, but we've come a long way.
And the reason a racket and a ball will continue to teach people much more than a game.
I think there are still a lot of younger folks who are doesn't have a safe place to come out, and I think this would kind of help bridge that gap.
Tennis, allies, and self-love, all things that can be found Sunday mornings at Wickfield. Delaney Bry, TMJ 4 News.
Still ahead, the Milwaukee LGBT Community Center providing a multitude of services. We're going to dive into one of them. It's called the Name Change Project. What is in a name? We'll talk about that coming up next.
The reason pride is so important to me, because as an extremely proud out gay woman, I know that somewhere, someone has not yet celebrated their first Pride. I am excited to welcome you when you are ready with the biggest hug that you will ever get. I'm extremely proud of you, and you are loved.
Welcome back, everybody. This month, Milwaukee's LGBT Community Center is celebrating a brand new space. This organization went entirely virtual because of the pandemic. Now they're moving into a new building. It's at MLK and Court Street. The center offers services from job skill development workshops to drug counseling. The center's new location officially opens later in the summer. One of the challenges the center helps people overcome is changing their names. Names, as we know, are important. They are our first introduction to other people, and the legal process to do this can be, well, intimidating, to say the least. Alex Corona, the transgender program coordinator with the Milwaukee LGBT Community Center, joining us now. And thank you, Alex, for joining us. What is this process like that's so intimidating to get your name changed to what you feel it should be?
Hi, Steve. Thank you so much for having us and highlighting our work and this important process for trans people. As you said, your name is like a stamp of your identity. And in Wisconsin, you have to file a $200 petition. You have to publish in the newspaper publicly 3 times that you are trying to change your name, and you have to attend a court hearing as well. And then there's like a lot of other documents and fees and agencies that you have to operate with. And it's almost impossible to do without a lawyer.
Okay, so why is it so important that this service is provided by the community center? How are you helping people?
there are so many people who never thought that this would be possible, that they had to carry their old name, which was a wonderful gift and it served them for so long, but they had to carry that as a burden for years. So this is such a weight off of your shoulders. Seeing everything match up to your ID, to your bank card, to your mail, to how you get your check stub. All of that confirms who you are, and that affirms that the world and legal agencies also see you as who you are. So it's so crucial.
One of the things we've heard from people who've been down this road in generations past is they like to say it gets easier. Let me ask you, is it getting easier?
I do not know if it's getting easier for people that are figuring out the system and people that are figuring out allies in the system to help them. It is getting easier, but I don't think that the way that our legislation is set up, that it is getting any easier for us to get things done. I don't think that we are in the clear yet. As you know, that there is a lot of anti-trans legislation. So as much as we have Pride Month and celebrations, there's also a large uphill battle to keep fighting, to keep our people safe and to keep us affirmed. So I don't think it's getting easier, but there are more people helping, and then there is a lot more work, and the center has given so much money and raised so much money because they know how important this is. The name change is about $400 a person, and that might not seem like a lot, but with someone who doesn't have a job because of their gender identity, it's really hard.
All right, we're going to put the information for the center up for everyone to access. Alex, thank you for what you do, and thank you for spending some time talking with us today.
Happy Pride, Steve.
If you need more information about the center's name change workshop, any other resources the center offers, we'll have a link to their website at tmj4.com/links. We are back after this.
But for me, pride means having a joy in oneself, having a joy in others, and being able to really celebrate that. Happy Pride Month, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody. Tony Atkins joining us again live at This Is It, open since 1968. It's more than a place to grab a drink. It has been a safe space for people to gather and be themselves for a long time. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Steve. Right now, trivia night set to kick off in about 10 minutes. Take a look right behind me. Just, the bar's starting to fill up. Folks coming in, just having a good time. They are just coming out to have a drink or do trivia, and just really the fellowship is really what makes this bar special. Again, serving the Milwaukee community since 1968. I'm here with the general manager, Zach. Zach, how are you today?
Doing all right.
All right, so one thing we want to talk about is the bar, the new owner, Trixie Mattel, superstar between Milwaukee and LA with those Milwaukee ties. What's been the best part of having her on board here?
There's a lot of good parts about it, but I would say my favorite part is that they're not afraid to do a little bit of dirty work. Not the last time they were here, but twice ago, we had a little bit of a plumbing issue while they were performing, actually, and they popped off stage in full geesh and with a wrench in their hand helps me in the bathroom fix it. They helped me paint the patio. They're not afraid to get a little bit of the hard work done themselves, and I appreciate that in a boss. So
absolutely. One more thing we talked about is the importance of having queer spaces in the city. One thing I tried to mention earlier today was with all the bars closing just throughout the U.S., you guys got a little help, obviously, to stay afloat and stay open. Can you speak to the importance of having queer spaces in cities like Milwaukee?
Well, I think it's extremely important because a lot of us didn't grow up feeling like home was a safe space, and a lot of us don't have a safe space as adults due to that. So this is kind of something that our community has used and continues to use to feel safe and feel like a family. That's why we kind of tokenized chosen families, like one of the hashtags on Instagram for us, and I think that it's a really important thing to keep up.
Right now, a safe space here at This Is It. Right now, a lot of space if you want to come out and have a good time. Again, trivia night kicks off in about 10 minutes. So if you want to have some fun, come on down and just enjoy the night. For now, I'm live downtown. Tony Atkins, TMJ4 News. Steve, back to you.
Get to flex your brains tonight for trivia night. Tony Atkins, thank you. We will be right back.
To me, pride is about having the opportunity to stop and recognize how far we've come, to see the work that we as a community and with our allies have done. I also think it's a time for us to stop and reflect on all the ways in which we could have done better.
continue to find our coverage of local Pride stories beyond the month of June. They're all online, tmj4.com/pride. Thank you for joining us for this Pride Month special on Milwaukee Tonight. I'll see you again on the other side of prime time.